All right, so we are just going to start our first section. Again, we'll work out of this workbook occasionally. Those can just get left in here. Those are kind of just some extra practice, and we're going to go through those notes that I gave you, and then you'll have the rest of the hour to work on your assignment. So just take a look at page 1 from your workbook here. It says complete the multiplication facts and its extended facts. So let's just see if we can go through these together just to kind of dust off the cobwebs and use some of our math skills here. So 3 times 4, anybody know that one? 12 is correct. How about what times 7 is 35? 5 is correct. 50 times what is 350?
100.
Not 100.
10.
Not 10. Getting closer though. How about if I did this? I'm just going to take off a 0 for now. 5 times what is 35? 5 times what is 35? 7. And now if I add the 0 back in, it would be 70. Yes. So 50 times 7, 35 with a 0. So your answer is 7. 70 would be another 0 on there, 3,500. 3 times 40. Maddie, how about that one? How about 3 times 4? Can you help me with that?
3 times 4. 12.
12, and then I need to add a 0 to it.
120.
120 is correct. 8 times 2.
16.
16. What times 2 is 160? Asia? 80. 8 times 2 is 16, and then add a 0 to it. This one's kind of in opposite order here. The big number's first. 2 times what is 16? Because I know that's what it's got to start with.
800.
8. Now take a look at the zeros. How many zeros are in 200? 2. How many zeros are in my answer? 2. So do I need an add to 0 to 8? You do not, because they both have 2 zeros on them already. They're done. Okay, number 8. What times 5 is 3,500? So what times 5 is 35 first? 7. Now let's look at our zeros. How many zeros are in my answer? 2. So how many zeros do I have to add to my 7? 2. They got to be the same. 8 times 6. Maddie, you know that one? 48 is correct. Very good. 80 times what is 4,800? So 8 times what was 48 again? You just told me 6, right? Now look at my zeros. I start with 1 0. I have an answer with 1 0. So do I need to add anything to my 6? Nope. You're done. Number 11. Again, I'm looking at my front numbers. 6 times what is 48? Still 8. Now check your zeros. How many zeros are in 600? 2. How many zeros are in 4,800? 2. So do I need to add any more zeros? Nope. 9 times what is 63? 7. Very good. 13, same type of question. 9 times what is going to give us 63? It's going to be 7. Check our zeros. Do I need to add any zeros? 630 has 1, 90 has 1. We do not need to add any. Okay, last set here. 4 times 6. What's that? 24. 40 times 6. 240. Very good. 24 with that 0 on there. And 4 times 600. 2,400 or 2,400 is correct. Very good. That dust off some cobwebs? Hopefully. All right. Next set we're going to do is just page 2 here. And looking at, you guys are the only ones that handed in your paper so far from yesterday. But one thing to remember, when you add and subtract fractions, guys, you have to have a common denominator. Okay? Do these all have a common denominator? Is the same number in the bottom? Yes, so we can just simply add or subtract them. So 3 over 5 plus 2 over 5. 5 over 5. Remember, you don't add the bottom, which is the same as 1. 5 divided by 5. If I have 5 pieces of pie and I eat all 5 of them, eat the whole pie. 4 over 9 minus 1 over 9. So you just simply take 4 minus 1. 3. Denominator is 9. Can that be reduced? To what? 1 over 3. Divide them both by 3. Problem 3. 5 plus 1. 6 over 7. Maddie, can that be reduced? 6 over 7?
Or no?
It cannot. You can't divide them both by the same number. Problem number 4. Kira, 8 minus 1, which is the same as 1. Again, it's nice that they are all common denominators. 12 plus 3.
12 plus 3 is 15.
15 over 10.
You can reduce that.
You can reduce it.
1 5
1
tenths.
5 tenths or 1 1/2. Very good. I would prefer 1 1/2 since that is all the way reduced. 22 over 9 minus 20 over 9. So 22 minus 20.
2 over 9.
What's that?
2 over 9.
2 over 9 is correct. All right, last part here in the workbooks before we do our notes for today. Again, this is all meant to just be a review, hopefully. Divide each shape into fair shares. That means each one is going to be the same, and shade the part to match the given fraction. So how can I shade a circle into 4 equal parts? How can I divide a circle into 4 equal parts? Yep,
What about the middle?
that's correct. Any hunters in here, that might be close to looking down a scope for you. And how do I shade one of them? Pretty simple. Shade one of them, doesn't matter which one. What's this shape called? Trapezoid, very good. So we gotta divide that into 3 parts. This one's tricky to divide. We're actually gotta make it into triangles. How many do I have to shade? 2 of them. Rectangle. Divide it into 5 spots. Now just get as equal as you can. Mine's not perfect there, but we're not going to waste time measuring today. How many would I shade? All of them. Number 4, dividing a triangle in half equally. How do I do that? Yeah, right down the middle, straight down. How many am I going to shade? 1. And number 5, dividing it into 6 equal parts. Again, do the best you can. And how many of those 6 am I shading? 5 of them. Oh, 4 of them, excuse me. You are correct. 4 of them. Alright, so that is all out of the workbook today. So you can just close them, keep them on your desk. Remember, those can stay in this room. And we're going to talk about data sets, some numbers today. So you should have some notes that look like this, a note page. Again, we'll go through these together. They are 3-hole punched for you, so they can stay in your binders. So all your notes and all your assignments can be in one spot for you, because you can use those all on your quizzes and tests as you need. So we're going to talk about some data sets. That's the first lesson of TransMath 3 here, and it's talking about numbers, how we can analyze numbers. So does anybody know what the minimum number would mean?
A full number.
Okay, what's that?
A full number.
A full number. So how about if I gave you a whole bunch of numbers, let's say these, and I would say what the minimum is. What is that asking you? What's minimum mean?
Biggest number.
What's maximum then? Yeah, minimum is the smallest. So I'm going to write down the minimum is the smallest number of data set, of a set of numbers. Sometimes you'll see that abbreviated min. So what do you think maximum is? The biggest number. Of data set. And you'll see that abbreviated with maximum. Max. Okay, range. What do you think range means? The middle? No, we're not covering the middle yet. That's the median.
When you have, like, say, 1, maybe out of 10, numbers between.
Correct. It is the biggest number. So I'm going to say the max number minus the smallest number. So if you had somebody in this room that was 50 and somebody that was 10, the range would be 50 minus 10. The range would be 40. So the minimum, or the maximum minus the minimum, is your range. Remember what mode means? That's a tricky one. Mode is the value that occurs the most often. The number you see the most. So that one that's listed 3 times compared to everything else listed twice. How about the mean? You remember what that is also called? Starts with an A.
Average.
Yeah, it's also called the average. So how do we get the average?
Like you're adding.
Yep, you add up all the numbers. Then you divide by how many numbers you have. All right. So here's our first data set, and we're going to answer some questions. Okay. I am going to write those numbers in order just to help me out so I can see them. So I'm just going to rewrite 1, 3, 4, 4, 6, 9, 15. I like looking at them in number order. I think that's easier for me, especially if it's going to ask me some other questions like the middle number or things like that. So make sure I have 7 numbers in each. So what number, Kira, is the minimum? 1. 1 is the smallest number in that set. Again, if I write them in order, I can see that. Maximum, Maddie.
Maximum is 15.
The biggest number is 15. The range, Asia. It's the max minus the min, which is 14. Very good. 15 minus 1. The mode, Kira, do you see a number that occurs the most often? 4 does. So 4 is our mode. Sometimes you're not going to have one and you would just write no mode. Sometimes it might be more than 1. And the mean. So that's the average. So I need to add up all my numbers. So let's see if we can add these up together. What's 3 plus 1? 4 plus 4 plus 4? 12. So I'm going to write 12 down so far. So I got those done. 6 plus 9? Plus another 15? 30. So I added them all up now. So I got 12 and 30 to add. It's 42 divided by, how many numbers do I have?
7.
I have 7 numbers, so 42 divided by 7 equals 6. So that is our average. And sometimes it'll be a fraction or a decimal. There's only so many numbers that'll divide out evenly, unfortunately, so you will not always get a nice whole number there. Okay, so next is going to be your assignment. Again, those are 3-hole punch, so they will all stick together. You will hand these in tomorrow to me, and I will check them for you. This is kind of like we started with in our workbooks. This one is saying which ones are divided into fair shares. That means all the sides are equal. We'll just circle the letter there. These are just like we got done doing. Wants to know the minimum, maximum, range, mode, and mean for each one. So you might have to spread out your answers a little bit here, or you can put them on the back. It does say remember to put the data in order, so it recommends putting them from smallest to biggest like we did today. And then these should all be self-explanatory. Adding, multiplying, or dividing, or subtracting. Again, if you need to show any extra work, you can feel free to do it on the back. I do have some paper in the back as well that you could attach it to. Any questions?